Hi and welcome to another episode on Jane of All Trades, my channel. Hi, I am Jane. Today we are just going to be running through how to make a thumbnail specifically for YouTube in Adobe Illustrator CC 2020. Workflow when it comes to thumbnails I think is quite important because if you're churning out quite a lot of content, you're also then creating a lot of thumbnails, and I think having this set up in the most logical manner is actually quite important. So I'm quite fortunate. I work with quite a talented graphic designer, and I've seen how she organises her workflow, and I've kind of adopted that technique, and it's made a huge difference. It means that you go, oh, I've got 5 minutes until upload time, I need to make a thumbnail quite quickly. You can just jump in, your workflow is already there, bish bash bosh, thumbnail made, export and away, and your thumbnail can just be done in a matter of minutes. Or you can do a catalogue of thumbnails, which is also an option where you've just got a variety of backgrounds or layouts or setups, and then you just go and change whichever one that you want to change. So we're just going to jump right in. So here we have my workflow for my thumbnails basically. So YouTube thumbnails are a specific size. I'll just put that on the screen because I can't remember off the top of my head what the pixels are by the pixels, and it'll probably tell me in document setup. Which it doesn't. Well, that's neither here nor there. So to get started, you start with a blank template. What I do is I'll instantly go down and I'll get my artboards tab and I will duplicate 10 of them, just make 10, and that gives you like a good setup. So that's how I got this, and I've also named every artboard after each one, and up here I've got a layer for every single artboard and I've locked it, so when I finish with a layer, so we'll just jump up here to the very top and I'll go down a wee bit. Where are they? Right, so this is the first one. So this was the lockdown trailer, standalone. So that's just 3 images, the tagline, subscribe button, and Jane of All Trades. And then that's how to make it. So we've got a tagline in this one, but it's pretty much the same. We've just added make your own horror movie. Then we've got reacting to songs I wrote over 15 years ago. So we've got a few more graphics there, and we've kind of really used the lime green of the wall as the colour. And then we've got something a bit more subtle, which is Jane of All Trades Facetune Yourself in Adobe Photoshop CC 2020. So what we've done is we've used the 2 images so that in the thumbnail we have the before and the after in the actual thumbnail. So we'll go down and then embroider your own merchandise, and this is where I had already made my logo, so now I'm going to start adding the Jane of All Trades logo. So again, we just got the photo. One of the hints and tips that I had found out, which I didn't really know in the beginning, was that in a thumbnail it's good to be quite personable. So you just add a wee picture of yourself, or people respond to people if they can maybe see who's actually going to be presenting to them. It gives a wee bit more of a positive vibe. So I'm going to start adding images of myself to tabs. So this is the vlog, so my first week on YouTube, hints and tips, and then I've got a picture which I've stylized. So for something like this, where I've got my vlog, the likelihood is I will just use that template all the time and change the title. Or you could even change the background colour if you're wanting to distinguish it. but what I'd appreciate about the vlog would be that it is a story, so there's no harm in making all the thumbnails the same. And I think if you've got subscribers, if you've got a lot of subscribers and they're more interested in your vlog than tutorials because they don't really use Adobe or that's not their thing, but they like watching your vlog, it means that your vlog will stand out more, because every time they see that exact template, they'll know that you've just put out a new vlog and the title's in the vlog. So I'd probably just use that as a continuity thing. Okie dokie, so let's just nip down and we have a blank template. So where to start, as I'm just going to start with the images. So I have created a video and it's called How to Add Makeup in Photoshop CC 2020. Really good old standard title. And what I've done is I've already, so if we just zoom out, I've already imported the portrait photo that I had used. So it's the same photo for my vlog basically, but we're going to use it slightly differently. So this is the after image. So what we want to do is we want to keep this the main focal point. So if I hold shift and then start dragging in, it keeps the proportions of the image. So not unlike the one above it, that's the kind of proportions we want because it's makeup, so we want to focus more on the face than we do on any other aspect of that image. So if we go to about there, we've got a very similar proportion to the top. And now we've got this image. Now obviously if we did the same and we made it the same size, which we can do quite easily, so we can just do that, same shift, hold mouse button, drag in, and you can probably get it exactly the same. But what is not good is that they both face the same way and they're miles apart from each other. So we're just going to do a little bit of transforming on this, and I'm going to reflect it. So I'm just going to make it so that I jump the other way, like that. Like, that's really simple. So we just go okay, and then we jump in. Now space is going to be an issue. So what I think about when I'm doing something like this is effects, and I quite like a good old feathering. So we're just going to bring that up. Computer's a bit slow because I'm doing like 300 things at once. So we can do that, and then we can see how that's going to roll and where the feathering's going to take place. I think we can go actually really huge because my picture is very much in the middle. We'll see how it copes with that. Like I said, I've got lots and lots of things running, so I mean that's 1,000, so that's still pretty far. So now we can get me a lot closer to me, but I'm still not feeling it. So I think we need to, there we go. Right, so what I did there was I just made a clipping mask because I just found that easier, just to get away the little points that I wasn't really wanting in the photo. So now we go back. So now we've got my two me's. I'm going to push this one much further to the left and give the one on the right more focus. And I think that is actually looking okay. I've been using the wrong layer the whole time, so I'm going to change this to makeup, and then we'll know exactly what layer we're working on. So that's all we've got so far. So whenever you create a clipping mask, you create a clip group. I quite like clipping masks because it's really going to tidy things up. So personally I'm quite happy with that. background, you know, and I don't mind the grey. I think it's going to be quite similar to that, but it's not going to be exactly the same. And we're needing to make our point and get our point across. So let's go in and then just say, right, we're pretty happy with where everything is sitting. So we're going to make a clipping mask of that because we want to get that nice and tidy. So there we go, and then we go back. The shortcut for that is actually V. So if you press V on the keyboard, you'll be able to do that pretty quick. If you're wanting to change tool, if you're on, the only tool it doesn't work on is text. If you're typing and you press V, it'll stay a V. But if you're on Paintbrush and you hit V, it'll jump back to that. And then P is pen. And if you hit spacebar, that's your little hand. You can drag around the screen. And if you press Alt, scroll forward to zoom in, or you can scroll backwards. I think you can also use positive and negative to scroll in and out, and you know, that kind of stuff. So learn a few shortcuts. Control Z is back. Well, back, undo, even undo. It's undo. It is not back. And that gives you a wee bit more to work with. So we are working with CC, and what CC has is it actually has an online library. So it's got like an elements library. So we're going to jump in here, and I've created a library called Jane of All Trades. It's just got wee bits and pieces. So it's got my background swatch here. So this is the colour that I universally use. So it's that peach in the background. So it's also in the background of this, because that's not completely transparent. So it's what is it? It's F3F or F hashtag FEF3ED. That's what it is. And I just use that universally. So my Twitter, my YouTube channel, my internet page, all has the same colour coordination, which is essentially peach and black. That's what I've gone for. I've gone quite classy. I've not gone kind of comical or quirky or totally graphic design. I've kept it actually quite simple and kind of gone for an elegance. I'm quite happy with that. So this is where we keep. You can also sort by groups. I've got logo, icons, and swatches. So just if I wanted a Twitter bird on or whatever, then I can just jump that on. So what I definitely want on this is my usual spiel. So I want a Jane of All Trades. So we're just going to add that to the board, and we can just pop that straight in the middle. Again, we've built templates like this before, so we're just going to jump in, and then I want my logo. The great thing about Illustrator is that just if you've got the Jane of All Trades where you want it, it'll start to build everything down the way, and I really like that. And then we're just going to put in a subscribe button. This is a subscribe button that I actually drew in Illustrator because I get really fed up looking for things. Like you say, well, I could just download it off the internet. Let me just say, it was infuriating. And the fact that people were charging for a subscribe button, and I thought, well, I'm not going to pay you for a subscribe button. I am going to draw my own subscribe button. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So that was what I did. So that's actually my custom subscribe button, which just looks like every other subscribe button because I'm not a crazy person. So here we are. So now we're down to title. So if we wanted to look back, we could see what kind of fonts that we had. Like, I mean, that's actually quite a nice font. You know, so if I go back to layers, and that's Facetune Yourself, then I can select that. Oh, you can select it. Let me just go, because I made a clipping mask on it, and we're just going to, there we go, that's it selected. So I can Control C, which means that I have copied that, and then go back to my layer and then Control V, and this is what it looks like. So I have borrowed from Facetune. I'm just going to relock Facetune, and we're going to jump in and we're just going to change the text, and I'm going to say how to add, and put that up the top actually, how to add, because we're going to emphasize makeup in Adobe. See, Photoshop is quite, why did I do that? In Adobe and then Photoshop, I'm going to do that in big, and then we're going to just put the little CC and then 2020 at the bottom, and then we'll see how that fits. So it's quite snug, but there are wee things that we can do. So we can go to properties. Let's have a wee look in properties, because there's wee things that you can do. So that makes things further away, so you can use this. So this is it's not column width. Well, look what it's doing. It's it's the text squisher. So you can squish the text, which can make for a better fit if you don't want to make the text any smaller, or you don't want to do anything ridiculous. You can just do it like that, and you know, these do all that jazz and the thing, and then you just Control Z because you can't be bothered working hard to get it back to where it started. So I would say that, you know, to me that is just a kind of simple classic thumbnail, and that is ready to go up with the video. And then once you're done with it, you just have a wee look, and then you can go back to layers and you can go, right, I'm happy with that. I'm actually going to move that down there and then lock it. And then this one I'm just going to rename as layer because we ended up not using that. And that's it. So it's a really quick way, and if you were making like thumbnails that look the same, so I've got vlog, you know, I can just go in and you can just copy everything, but if you've unlocked it, then you can just skadoosh everything anyway, and you can go Control C, and then you just select the layer that you want it on, and then you go down, and then you can Control V. It's doing its thing, and then you just have the exact same thing anyway, and then you just open her up. So even though it's in a clip group, so there's things that you don't want to change. Well, I don't want to change the background. None of this is in clip, so you can just go, okay, I don't want that to say that anymore. It's now going to say, you jump in and you go, now you want to change it to second week on YouTube, and then you just make it fit, and that's the quickest way to do it. And then you can just duplicate your thumbnails. So if you have a set thumbnail pattern and all you're really doing is changing the title of the video because that's what you want that continuity. A lot of channels have that, where it's the same thing or the same principle, the same colours, and it makes you can't differentiate between the video or the content, but you know it's their content, you understand their channel's content. So a lot of them, maybe for vlogs or for persons who are maybe like a chatty Cathy kind of channel, the thumbnail will be something like, if they're talking about a shocking topic, it'll be or if it's like a sad, it'll be like and they just use emotive imagery to give you an idea of what you're going to be watching. You know, it's like shock. So yeah, I totally understand that. I think that's an absolutely logical progression of creating a thumbnail. and just keep playing about with your design and find what you like, and either be variable. I'm making a lot of varied stuff right now, so I'm quite happy with experimenting with the thumbnails right now, and trying different things. The things that will always stay the same is it will always have my channel name on it, it will always have my logo name on it, it will always have the title of the video on it, and it will always have my face on it. So that's quite a lot of things that you're always going to have on something before you've added any other elements. So it's already quite a busy thumbnail. But we're only kind of going into week 2 of YouTube, so if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We change it up. And as time goes by, we'll get a better sense of what thumbnails are working and what thumbnails are maybe needing a review, and then we can step up our game a little bit. So that's it for thumbnail creation in Photoshop. No, in Illustrator CC 2020. Feel free to like, feel free to subscribe. Why not become a chatty Cathy and throw me a few comments down below, and we'll get chatting ourselves and network. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.